guitar buddies, that was the brilliant David Bowie track Teenage Wildlife, of course featuring the great Robert Fripp on guitar. Now we'll start with the chords. Okay, so I'm playing, starting on the intro with, although a lot of the song is A flat to D flat. So I'm playing just a bar chord, and I'm just playing it very simply. So I'm always playing it just as a power chord, really, just kind of slightly muted. Not really, not like that, just really concentrating on the sort of bottom strings. Okay, so the intro guitar part is just A flat to D flat. Okay, and then in the verse, it carries on that way. You've got that twice. D flat, and again A flat, D flat, again A flat, E flat. Okay, so just moving that up to 6th position, and then we've got the sequence that goes around twice. So we've got a G flat, 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, a bar each of D flat to A flat, then back to the E flat for 2 bars, and again. Okay, and the first time it goes straight into the solo, just a little solo, just over A flat to D flat again, just like on the intro. Okay, and then the second time around, we do all that again. So it's kind of verse section to A flat, D flat, A flat, D flat, A flat, E flat, G flat, D flat, A flat, E flat, and again. And then we've got 3 times round on this section. So I'm playing just the D flat as a root and 5th here. And then basically moving that bottom note down to C. So you basically got A flat over C. So I'm playing 4 and 6, 3 and 6 on the A and D strings. Then a root and 5th for the B flat and A flat. So 6 and 8, 4 and 6. So just that kind of thing. Kind of pre-chorus. A B flat, minor, D flat, F minor. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, yeah. So that's a kind of pre-chorus, chorus section. A piece of teenage wildlife. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. And then we've got, that's most of the song, apart from this kind of middle section, where we've got, so here I'm playing the G flat, but this time I'm playing it here. You know, okay, just like, kind of works better here for this section, I think. Because there's lots of guitars on the track, so it's kind of hard to pull out what each individual guitar's playing. There's a big mix of guitars. So, F minor. So we've got G flat major, F minor, E flat. Again. Back to that G flat. And that It carries on for a while. So that holds on the G flat for a few bars. Okay, on the playthrough it's kind of easy to follow along. And then you got the bass is kind of play that. So you got so I'm going from F minor, E flat, and the bass sort of stays on A flat, but here we've got A flat to D flat, just like on the intro, and then back to the pre-chorus, B flat minor, D flat, F minor, yeah, and you've got, and then that's basically it. You've got a kind of guitar solo over the first chorus section, and you've got another one of those. And basically the outro is just that A flat to D flat. Okay, so that's the kind of sections in terms of the chords. Next we'll take a look at those numerous lead parts. I'm starting the intro with a C. And if I've got a big amp, I could get lots of feedback on that, which would be great. And then I'm playing this B flat to C as a bend. So basically going, yeah, so I'm bending on 3 on the G string to 5, okay? And repeating the bend, just kind of, and then bending on 5 to 6, and releasing, so that's the melody. So I did it as a bend, bending up and down on 5 to 3, picking that twice, and then I did that as a slide. I think he does a slide on the track, but again you could just play it like that, it's fine. But and then to 1, to A flat. Okay, hold that A flat, and then you basically got the section where just repeating, pulling off that B flat to A flat. Okay, and then so sliding to 5 this time. I think it's a slide rather than a bend, and then just that, like we played earlier, bend to 6, release, down to 3, and then bend from 5 to 6 again, C to D flat, and like before, just kind of rock that bend so it kind of goes almost like a, that kind of thing. Okay. So that's that section, and then the other guitar comes in with so just playing here the F minor pentatonic scale. So I'm playing 15 to 13, F to E flat on the D string, and then coming down the scale, F, E flat, C, B flat, 13, 16, 13, 15. So on the E string, B string, G string, and then just put a little power chord after that, and a little slide up to end the intro. So the next section I'm playing on the verses. Okay, so I'm just playing a bar across 13 on the G, B and E strings. Okay, so over the A flat chord, we've got A flat, C and F, kind of giving you an A flat 6. And I'm playing it, so G string, B string, G string, E string. Oh, it's kind of nice if you put the two strings together, the B and E strings on that last one. And then just A flat, so G, B and E strings, back to G string, and then put your little finger on 16 on the B string for that E flat there. So you've got, so that's all the A flat chord. Then for the D flat chord, you just move it down to, so this time it's going straight into 6 and then 6 and 6 on B and E. So start on the G string, back to the G string, little finger on 9, the B string, and again, little couple of notes to finish it off, E flat to D flat, 8 to 6, and then repeat. And then so on that third time we're going to an E flat chord, so we're just moving this up 2 frets, leaving that bit out, just there. Okay, and then that goes into kind of the next section. Okay, so that's the section I'm playing a couple of times through the song on the verses. All right, we'll take a look next at the first solo. Personally, with these solos, I'd say don't get too hung up on trying to play them all exactly note for note, because they're very fast, okay? And if you just learn the kind of scales that Robert Fripp is using and the kind of style in which he's playing them, then you can just incorporate that into your own playing. And if you were playing this live, as long as you kind of kept the overall kind of shape and stuck to the basically the same kind of notes, it'll sound great. All right, so anyway, I'll play through the first section slowly, okay? So it's basically, I'm starting around the F minor pentatonic scale, so I'll play it slowly, then break it down. Okay, so but it's more played at that speed, that kind of stuff. All right, so what we're doing here is basically playing around, okay, the classic kind of blues scale pattern, okay, around 13, 15, and 13 and 16, okay. So we're starting on A flat, B flat, A flat as a hammer pull. That's 13 and 15 on the G string, and then going to the D string, hitting the F, pull off hammer. So yeah, so it's basically just keep doing that. Okay, so you can kind of get it quite fast. I say does it 3 times. If you did it 2 times, wouldn't matter. Okay, nobody's going to kind of stand in the audience going, "Oh, he's played it wrong." Okay, but basically, yeah. So it does it 3, and then the 4th time, again, if you want to be like exact, when I was listening to it, it sounds like instead of it hits a B natural there. Okay, so. Okay, so on the way up, so it may just be he's changing his finger positions and catches that B rather than B flat. But again, if you play the B flat there, it both fits. But basically I'm going. So on that way up, I'm playing, instead of 13, 15, 13, 16. And then my finger's kind of in the right place for just doing a little trill there on F and A flat. Okay, and then from that A flat, so that's on the E string, just trilling on 13 and 16. So trilling just basically hammer pulling off, and then sliding up to 18 to B flat. And then coming back down the scale. go. So I'm playing here a little jump. So I'm going up, sliding up to that B flat, and then do a little trill again, just a quick one on 16, 18, A flat, B flat, and landing on F, and then just jumping down back to kind of the original scale position, and then just coming down the scale. So yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm going 13, 15, 13, 15, 13. So jumping down to the B string, 13, and going down the next two strings, 15, 13, 15, 13. And then coming back to the G string, basically hammer pull on 13, 15, and back down, 15, 13, and kind of hitting the C, and that C sort of pivots me back going up. So, kind of that. So back, going sort of back up the way I came down. So hitting 15 on the A string, 13, 15, 13, 15, then back down. I kind of think the last note he plays is that E flat. I say it's so fast, you know, I'm not certain this is exactly, but it kind of fits, okay? Because also, you'll notice on the track there's another solo, it's like the intro solo mixed in with it. So something that Tony Visconti did on these tracks Fripp would improvise solos and maybe do a few takes, and the engineer, Tony Visconti, would kind of mix bits of the takes together. You know, he first did that on Heroes. But basically, yeah, so that kind of thing, okay? So that whole first section, I'll just play it slowly through once more. But as I say, do it live, just play something similar, it'll work. So I'm going... So that's the next section. I've got... So I'm coming out of that first fast section there. So here we're including a note from the F minor scale, which we've not played before. That's D flat. Yeah, so playing C, D flat, F, and sliding to a B flat. So 15, 14, 13. So sorry, 13, 14, 13, yeah, 13, 14, ba, ba, ba. And then slide up to 18 on the B and E strings. Then we're playing A flat, B flat, and then bend and release. So, and back down to F on 15, on 13, sorry. So, sorry. Then we're coming down the F minor scale. So we've got F. So we've got 13. And 16, 14, 13 on B. 15, 13, 12 on G. 15, 13 on D. 16. Last note, 15 on A. Yes. Then next section is E flat, slide to a G, F to E flat, back to C. Yeah, so 13. Then 17, 15, 13, and 15 on the A string. starting on the D string. Then just a little trill there on E flat and F on 13 and 15. And then for my final phrase, I've got starting on the F to A flat on 15 and 13 on D and G. Then going back to F, A flat, B flat, A flat. So 15, 13, 15, 13, 15, pull off to 13. Then going back up. So we've got B flat, D flat, E flat, F. So 15, then on the B string, 14, 16, 18. Then hitting B flat to A flat. So just go from 18 to 18 to 16. Last three notes with B flat, A flat, G. Okay. 18, 16, 15. Okay, great solo. For the next part, which comes in on the kind of pre-chorus section, I'm playing a little tune. Again, quite low in the mix. I'm playing F, E flat, D flat to C. 6, 4, 6, 5 on B and G. B flat on 3 on the G string. Then E flat to C, 4 to 5 on B and G. And then same kind of thing and just going down to 1. And then coming up, just 1, 3, 5, 5. That kind of thing. Just going up 1, 3, 5, 4, and then going up to so I'll move the guitar bit so you can see a bit. So I'm going, playing F and slide up to a C. So I'm going up 13 and slide from 18 to 20. 18, 16. 13. Then E flat to D flat, 16, 14. Then B flat, A flat, F, 15, 13, 15. And 15 on G and D. Then going C, B minor chord there, B flat minor, sorry. So 15, 14, 13. Then bending at A flat to B flat. So, and then so it's a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then into the next section. So I'm kind of bending that on 16, up to 18, and hit 13. Oops. And then into the kind of intro again, but an octave higher. Okay, so everything I played down here, just playing, bending on 15 now. Kind of repeating those bends. Then going up to 17, semitone bend, down to 15, back to 17, 13, then this time I'm going da da ba ba da da da. So just little hat pull-offs on 15 and 13 on the G string. Land on F on 15 on the D string, and then just 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back into Yeah, so it's just the same notes basically. So that's all pretty straightforward. So again, bending to 15 and then moving up to 17. So bending on 15, then moving to 17, semitone, 15, bend up. Okay, and then on this next section, where we're going, okay, I'm playing, and then, so I'm basically playing a little, kind of, we've got G flat here, I'm adding a ninth, so I've got an A flat as well, so I'm playing G flat, A flat, like nice little kind of discord on 11 and 9 on the G and B strings. Then adding that B flat there to put the third back in. So basically that 9, 11 on B, then hit 11 on G. Then F minor chord, playing 10 and 9, but adding that B flat there on 11 again. And then we've got this very Robert Frippy. Yeah. So here I'm playing 13, 13, 10 on the E, B, G strings. F, C, F, E flat. Then C, G, C, B flat. 13, 12, 10, 11. Yeah. And again, and the second and third time, just play that top one twice. So basically it's kind of, yeah, and then that note holds. Okay, so it's probably a couple of guitars here, but so I'm coming back in, I'm sort of skipping that first one, okay, because I kind of held that note a bit, and then doing that second one, and then just playing the same thing again. Yeah, and that's that section. Now, at the end of that last section, I almost forgot one little extra lick. I was just playing over that G flat chord, A flat, G flat, E, D flat, 9 on B, 11 to 9 on G, and then 11 on D. Okay, and then next time I come in with a big section, I'm playing okay, so kind of leading into the chorus with just C to B flat. It's all stuff we kind of played already by this point. Okay, just variations of it. Just 13 to 15 on B and G. Then that B flat minor arpeggio. So it's F, D flat, B flat, D flat, F. So it's just 13, 14, 15. Back up. Bend on the A flat to B flat, so bend on 16. Release. Down to the A flat on 13 on the G string, and then okay, here I'm playing a bend on E flat to F, then pulling off to D flat, so bending on 16 there. Release on the B string, pull off to 14, then bend on 15 to 17, and release. Okay, and then we go into kind of like the octave higher intro again, but sort of starting a little later. So that bend on the B flat on 15 on the G string, and then So and then going up to 17, semitone bend release, 15, bend back up, and then again we got that bend on 15. So this is a new bit here. Okay, I'm playing, because we're playing over slightly different chords to before when we were kind of doing the solo bits. So that's over the E flat chord. So I'm playing C, D flat, C, E flat, D flat, C, B flat. Okay, so 13, 14, 13, 16, 14, 13, and 15 on the G string. And then we've got, so it's all around this kind of like blues scale again, this next section. So just doing so 15 and 13 on G string, down to 15 on the D string. Yeah, just all those notes. 13, 15, 13, 15, 13. Yeah. Yeah, that's the next bit. Same notes. Yeah, so 13, 15, 15, 13, 15. Just trill in, bend, release, down to 13. Then just another one there. And then it kind of goes down. That kind of thing. Yeah, so it's just... So it's all again 13, 15 on the G, D and A strings. 13, 15, 13, 15, 13. So, and again, kind of same part. And then you kind of just keep going. Okay, so just A flat and F, and at that point another guitar comes in, kind of playing over that. So you've got a B flat and an E flat there, so 15 on G and 16 on E, and they kind of mix together, and then the other guitar comes in and we've got... So it's just a little simpler version of what we played before, which was... I'm just playing... Just B flat, C, E flat, C, then B flat, down to A flat. Same. And then just a little kind of bend again. Now I'm just kind of... So, yeah, kind of what we played before. And at this point, I'm just really ad-libbing, because we've got all the way through the song now, and the play-out section, okay, I copied a few of the little licks, I threw a few of the kind of trip licks in, but it's really a chance just on the play-out, play for as long as you like, and just take everything you've learned from the solos and put them in. So it's all, you know, all that kind of stuff. All the notes you've been playing on the previous solo, all that, all the little trills. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Things like that. And little ones he puts in was like, that. Things like that, little patterns. Where I'm kind of going, things like that, where so I'm playing sort of 18, 13, 13, 16 on the top two strings. Pull off. There to there. And then just the same on the next two strings down. Things like that. And then just little melodies around those blues scale patterns we've been playing, those minor pentatonics. Yeah, so anything you know, anything you choose to put in there, that's a chance to just have some fun and play out over the end. Okay, so I think that's covered most of the bits. Like I say, there's actually more little bits in there buried in the mix because there's so many kind of layers of this track, which was kind of what makes it sound so epic and great. But hopefully there's a lot to get your teeth into there, play about with, and give you a little insert into the great guitar playing of Mr. Robert Fripp, true original. All right, so next we'll take a look at the bass. Now the bass part is mostly playing single notes on the root of the chords, with a few exceptions. Okay, a few little riffs here and there. But on the intro, I'm just playing A flat to D flat, just kind of. Yeah, just that kind of feel, just 4 and 4 on the E and A strings. And throughout this song, it's not kind of looped or anything. It's kind of playing it how he feels it. So sometimes he'll play it, or sometimes just straight, or sometimes 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Still that's that single note, but it doesn't play it the same number of times on every bar. So it's no point in just going through the whole thing because you'll never remember it. Just kind of you learn it and listen along, and I just scribbled it out to play along with it. Just what the bars, how many notes in the bars, for example. But you know, it's, as long as you play the right note, it's going to be okay. You know, just whatever you feel with the drummer. You know. But anyway, so don't get too hung up on how many kind of eighth notes there are. But basically, you've got A flat to E, just that on the intro, and then on the verse, it's A flat to D flat, A flat, D flat, A flat, then E flat on 6 on the A string, and then this little section you get G. So this section, there are a couple of extra notes. So we're going from that E flat and then going to a G flat. So I'm playing that on 2 on the E string. I just play some leading notes into the next bar. So for the going to the D flat, I play 4 and then 4. So A flat to D flat. Basically, I always play the 5th below. On this one, just playing the G flat to A flat again, so 2 to 4. So there it is. And then 5th to the E flat, so B flat to E flat, 6 to 6. And then basically just again. Doesn't always do those little jumps every time. Again, doesn't really matter if you leave them out or put them in, it's all going to fit. So you kind of repeat that sequence. That's without the jumps. And then into the first solo, it's just the kind of A flat to D flat again. You kind of just repeat that whole sequence again, you know. And then we've got a little section where we've got so you got so I'm playing A, yeah, I'm playing D flat, F, A flat, basically just a D flat arpeggio. 4, 4, 3, 6 on A and D, and then just shifting the bottom note. So C, F, A flat. So So 3, 3, 3, 6. So 4, 4, 3, 6, 3, 3, 3, 6. And then B flat, C, D flat, 6, 3, 4. Jump to the A flat on 6 on the D string. Come back down. Ba, ba, boom. 6, 3, 6. A flat, F, E flat. So then again, same start, and then this time go ba 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 ba. So same as before, B flat, C, D flat, 6, 3, 4. Then just jump to the A flat here. Play root third, A flat to C, 4 to 3. Yeah. Third time it's even simpler. Just stays on it. Just stays on the A flat. Then you kind of into the chorus section, which is a B flat. Play that on 1. Slide to D flat on 4. Slide up to F on 8. Back to A flat and D. Now there's a middle section in the song, so that's pretty much most of it, and then there's a bit where it goes I'm playing the G flat here, this time not here but on 9 on the A string, to F on 8, to E flat on 6, do that twice, and then you got that kind of so we just kind of sustained a G flat chord for a while, and I'm just playing. Yeah, just again, just kind of playing that root note, but just throwing in at the end of each bar the fifth of the root an octave higher. So 2, then 4, 4, 4 on A and D. Last one, just stay on that root. Okay, and then they've got this nice little F minor to E flat where I'm playing, and all the notes of an F minor chord, F, A flat, C, F, bam. So 1, 4, 3, 3, starting on the E string, E flat, C, F, so 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, E flat, then A flat. Okay, and the chord is going A flat to D flat, but it sounds like it just stays on the bass. A flat, and then B flat. Sort of building it up. It's chorus really. That D flat again. Okay, and then it's just basically, you know, your sort of verse chorus sections again, playing out over that A flat to D. And sometimes at the end kind of throws in a little passing note of C. So you're going 4, 3, 4. Again, just a little kind of fill there. Throw those in if you want to, etc. But it's not too complicated. It's just kind of quite a long song, so there's quite a lot to remember in terms of structure. But the bass part is really mainly just root notes with a few little interesting bits here and there. Great song, and probably a very long video when I put all this together. So if you stuck with me to the end, thanks for watching, buddies. Happy playing. Cheers.